Jesus. If you don't know how to love, you'll never know how to love your husband if you don't watch porn. Such a stupid idiot. And I did it for 10 years. And you know I stopped? I like porn! That's how I stopped. Confess it. And then even with that, the menage a trois left. You know why? Because I came confessing clean and open with a God that looks at me and sees his son. And so we see the son, we connect, me and God connect. So I saw him sitting at a judge's bench, and he had on a black robe and glasses. And he had papers in his hand, and the Holy Spirit said that was a docket. Docket. He said it's a ticket. It's a ticket, but that is the docket. And not all of my sins were on there. So even though he's asking me, did you do this? Did you do this? I had my hands in handcuffs. They were supposed to be handcuffs, but they were in chains behind me. And Jesus was standing next to me. And Jesus was quiet. He's my advocate, but he's my lawyer, but he's standing next to me. So I had my hands behind my back. He said, God said, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? And I'd say, yes, yes, yes. I said, but I confess. And I want to know God. I want to know you. I love you. And I want to meet you where you are at. I confess. Fix me, God. Everything fell away. The judge's bench, his black robe came off, the glasses came off, the docket went away, and he was sitting in front of me with a white robe on. And in one hand it said, wash, and the other one said dry. John 1:19. And behind him was no longer the courtroom. It was paradise. I saw paradise. It was odd. It was the sunlight that was weird. It was white. And guess how I got there? I like porn! I never figured out until now why God was wearing a white robe. In my wilderness situation, I don't know whether it was a dream or not. I was up 1 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock, praying. I think it was 6:30, praying. I was just up praying. And running. I was running for myself, just praying. And Jesus led me out of the wilderness. He came up to me, put both hands out. I put my hands in his hands, and he started walking backwards with me, just looking at my face. And he looked so calm. And I'm like, he should be afraid because he's walking backwards. We're walking kind of slow, but I'm like, he's walking backwards. But he was just calm, just looking at me. He didn't look at the floor. He didn't look away from me. And in his face, it didn't say, I really want to look away from you. He just kept looking at me. He came to get me, and then I heard Elohim. And I said, but this isn't Elohim, this is Jesus. And I heard it's all the same thing, James. It's all the same thing. For them, they have different jobs, right? I don't know what Elohim means. You guys have to look it up. I don't know, but they all have different jobs, but they're all three God. All three God. And the sun, and when he came and got me, I saw the wilderness. It was sun. Sunset, it was a dawn, just like it was here, but we weren't here. He was leading me out. I heard Elohim, and he said, I heard it's all the same thing, Jamie. I said, huh? He says all the same thing. And Jesus was still looking at me, so Jesus was saying it, so the Holy Spirit was saying it to me. So now I understand why I saw God on that judge's bench probably 2 months ago. 2-3 months ago. And then everything fell away, and he was sitting there washed dry. He just looked at me with a smile on his face. But he had on a white robe. He was on the judge's bench and on a black robe, like Judge Judy, you guys. But then all of a sudden he had on a white robe. He had on a white robe. He had on a white robe. And so what that tells me is that I said to somebody, I said, just like Jesus suffered when he died, his father did too. And they said, no, he didn't. He didn't suffer. Yes, he did. Because if you're one with your son, how would you feel having to? He had to turn his back on Jesus. And then even Jesus, when Jesus said, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? He had to turn his back. How would you feel having to turn your back on your son and have your son ask you while he's dying, doing what you told him to do? How would you feel having your son ask you that, with you having to turn your back? Because he had the sins of the world on his shoulders. He had my sin, my porn on his shoulders. He had your porn on his shoulders. We all got porn, don't we? It's not just pornography. It's porn eat too much. It's porn lie too much. It's porn I'm gay. It's porn I'm angry. It's porn I beat my kids and I enjoy it. My mother's a sadist. God told me that. He said she's a sadist. I still don't know what a sadist is. He said because she enjoyed beating you. So that makes her a sadist. I still have not had the guts to look sadist up. But I believe him. So maybe her thing is porn sadist. Maybe my thing is pornography. In her porn sadist beating me instead of loving me, maybe I picked up pornography. Do I blame her? No. I'm looking at it as a case study, sort of like a cause and effect. It's a book. It's how a book is written. If I wrote my story, that's how I would write it. It's not her fault. I love my mother. It really is not her fault. I believe that she did say some things happened to her. My grandmother did certain things to her. But just because it passed down to you doesn't mean it has to keep passing. So I already said to myself, I said, God, I said, you give me a child, if you give me anybody in my life, I said, I want to make sure you know between me and you that abuse will not pass to them. I will not abuse a king that comes into my life. I will not abuse a child that comes into my life. Some of you need to confess that. The abuse that I receive will not pass on. I will not give it to somebody else. Because maybe that's what God is waiting for you to say, so that He will give you the person that you are asking. I will not abuse them. I will love them, even when they feel like they don't deserve love.